Good afternoon, I'm Julia Guzman.
And I'm Kirby Schnorr. Today on Fresno State Focus, we'll tell you how women at Fresno State are taking action towards safety.
Plus, we'll tell you about the Alumni Association's latest efforts to raise money.
But first, we'll tell you why it may get more expensive for students to stay healthy. Meetings were held for students to respond to a possible increase in the student health fee. Sergio Robles tells us how much that increase would cost students and what it would pay for.
The Student Health Center recently held public forums to discuss a proposed increase to the student health fee. A survey has also been sent to students' emails so they can pick one of several increase options. The biggest increase would raise the student health fee by $5 every year for the next 4 years, starting this fall. This will mean that in 2016, students will be paying $113 a year, $20 more than the current fee of $93.
I mean, I guess it's just more like a trend of things getting more expensive, which is kind of doesn't seem like it's a good trend.
Staff at the center says that so far, students' reaction to the increase has been positive.
Overall, we have probably 65% support rate right now to 70%, but the numbers are changing daily.
The director says that the center plans to focus more on preventive care, something that most of the increase would go towards.
If you were to ask me, do they have to walk into the health center to use the $93 they're currently paying right now? No, not really. If I'm doing my job out there for prevention and health education and promoting a healthy lifestyle, they don't have to come into the health center.
The meetings are over, but it's not too late to give your opinion. Just log on to your email and respond to the Student Health Center's survey by this Friday. Sergio Robles, Fresno State Focus.
Women at Fresno State are taking self-defense to a whole new level. Tony Tinoco shows us what went on this weekend.
There you go. Do it again. Again. Do it again. Great. Keep going.
In order to protect yourself and avoid becoming a victim, you must first learn the right tools to keep those predators away. This weekend, women of all ages stepped into a class that taught them how to defend themselves in any situation. Incoming freshman Samantha Armstrong says it was her mom who made her take the class because she needed to know how to fight.
It's really helpful. I mean, the moves that they teach you, the stuff that they teach you, not just like physical, but the words that they tell you to use and the way they tell you to talk, it's really helpful.
So imagine you're walking in a park all by yourself and someone out of nowhere comes out and attacks you. Well, what do? That's exactly what women at Fresno State learn in their RAD class.
No, knee strike. There you go. Keep going.
Rape Aggression Defense System. That's the name of the self-defense class that teaches women how to respond if they're being attacked. Each woman was given a chance to go through a scenario that Sergeant Jennifer Couric created and utilize the tools and maneuvers they learned in class. Couric, who has taught the class for 9 years, creates real-life situations to make the women think, what would I do if this really happened to me?
I was kind of scared because I saw him and he was wearing a black suit and he was all covered up, and so it was really scary. But the first hit, like after that, your adrenaline just goes up and you just want to defend yourself and fight.
You know, they come in here and they don't talk a lot, and because the first night's lecture, but then after they start doing the physical stuff, they think it's fun, but also they realize they have a lot of power, and it gives them a lot of confidence to where they feel like they could fight back if they had to.
Linda Trenton, who took the class with her sister, was impressed with her moves.
You can do more than you think you can, and some of the moves that they teach are actually easy to do, and they don't take a lot of effort, except running around being chased by a red man.
Trenton says these scenarios are different than just learning the techniques because you're actually putting it into practice. Tony Tinoco, Fresno State Focus.
You don't have to look any further than right here on campus to attend a dance concert. Lauren Bethelier shows us how Fresno State students choreographed and produced this year's performance.
Jazz, tap, ballet, or lyrical, Fresno State's University Dance Theater did it all at their student-produced dance concert, Pazzo. Pazzo means wild in Italian, and there was no hesitation when it came to naming this year's dance concert.
But this time, as soon as the class heard Pazzo, it was like 100% response that, oh my gosh, of course that's the name.
Although the University Dance Theater is a class, it doesn't involve your typical dance instruction.
It's more geared towards what the students want to do and what they're interested in, as opposed to everybody has to take a class whether you like it or not, or something like that.
Artistic director Kenneth Ballant oversees the process, but says every aspect of the production is done entirely by the students.
Circle, run behind him, and then we'll make it bigger.
As like the advisor, I like to tweak and poke and, shake them up a little bit, but I'm not the choreographer. So, and I don't want to step on, their creative juices.
With 22 talented dancers and 19 original pieces, it's no surprise this performance was a packed house tonight.
There's a lot to expect from the show. There always is a lot to expect from the shows. It turns out to be really great.
Whether you're a dance critic or simply came to enjoy the show, the University Dance Theater's Pazzo didn't disappoint. Lauren Bouthillier, Fresno State Focus.
The graduating class of 2012 will be looking for jobs soon. The Department of Mass Communications and Journalism is helping to make sure their students are prepared for the transition from college to work. Russell Cook is on campus with the story.
And I went back to the office and wanted to nap. It was not a good
Graduation is just around the corner, and that means graduates will be pushed out into the real world. But some Fresno State students are getting a jump on the job market that lies ahead. Here at MCJ Day, students were able to gain useful information to complement their future careers. The internship and job fair gave those who attended a chance to hear professionals in their field speak and to make contact with potential employers. MCJ student David Lee learned that he has to be ready for whatever job may come his way.
You gotta be able to edit, gotta be able to film, take pictures, promote, have relationships. It's a wide game now, and social media has totally changed the game too. So it's just like a different world, and it's almost like the Wild West. You can almost like stairs for the taking, you just gotta go guns blazing.
The industry professionals that spoke were able to give students some insight on how to prepare and succeed in the next stage of their life. Speaker Bruce Batty had one message that he hoped to get across during his talk.
A lot of people will be good at your profession, but the folks that are really passionate about what they do and really have a fire in their belly, it takes that little extra to really get ahead and to stand out from the crowd. So love what you do, because if you don't, it'll grind you down pretty quickly.
Though the turnout for MCJ Day may not have been what was expected, the students that showed up were happy they did, as they walked away with a wealth of knowledge for whatever career they choose. Russell Cook, Fresno State Focus.
High school students from all over the state of California took part in a week's worth of activities here in Fresno. Students lined up for the largest youth organization in the U.S. The FFA Convention that is held in downtown Fresno once a year teaches the future farmers of America about the agriculture industry. Thousands of students from all over the state enjoyed a week of activities. The workshops held taught students many lessons, in which they also got to attend a college and career fair. Fresno State student Shannon Sumner, a 5-year FFA member, tells us why it's good for the high school students to attend.
It's hands-on, you learn so much, and with all the programs that we have, just prepare the students for the industry they're involved in.
Fresno State had a booth set up at the college and career fair promoting the school and its agriculture department. FFA students were able to talk to Fresno State students and teachers about the ag program and what it has to offer. While Fresno State ag students helped out during the week, Scotland Snyder, a freshman at the school, participated at the convention.
This year I participated in a sheep proficiency interview, which means that I'm going to represent California with my sheep project.
During the interview, they asked Snyder about the sheep industry, her personal experiences, and her involvement on the Fresno State campus. After placing first, she will then represent California at the national level in October. Students didn't only have educational workshops or speakers to listen to. They managed to make new friends, catch up with old ones, and enjoy a country music concert. Today with me is Mandy Hill, an ag education major here at Fresno State. Thank you for joining us, Mandy.
Thank you for having me, Kirby.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about FFA?
Absolutely. FFA is a national program that was developed for agriculture students in high school to be able to be enrolled in a class as well as have leadership opportunities and public speaking opportunities, as well as raising a project like a lamb or a pig for the fair.
So what is it that the FFA members did at the convention?
Every year in April, FFA members have the opportunity to travel to Fresno and be involved in public speaking events as well as competitions, and having the opportunity to go to sessions where they can learn more about agriculture and advocating for agriculture, as well as hearing from people who are really successful that have been in FFA before.
Okay, so what was your role in the convention, as well as like your Fresno State involvement with the convention?
In the past, I have been involved in the Fresno State Conference Committee, which is in charge for putting on a lot of the behind the scenes things that go on. I have also been able to judge a few public speaking events, in particular prepared public speaking.
Okay, great. Now, how can students, if they want to get involved in the class, how do they get involved here at Fresno State to help out with the convention?
Great question. Every spring when there's class signups, there's actually a specific class. So you do get units for being involved. And in the past, they meet on Wednesday nights. And so when it comes time to register, just register for that class and you can find out the class number from the ag department.
How do you think students benefit from being involved in the class?
I think that students at Fresno State benefit from being involved in that class by really having a chance to give back. A lot of former FFA members that are involved, it gives them a sense that they're helping FFA members that they were at one time. And I think that it's a great opportunity to kind of encourage your own leadership skills and to take part in a different part of the conference.
Okay, great. That was Mandy Hill giving us information about the State FFA Leadership Conference. Now to Julia with more.
Thanks, Kirby. The author of a controversial book spoke to Fresno State students about gun control. Tara Thomas has more.
Guns were the topic of discussion at Fresno State last Thursday. John Lott, author of the book More Guns, Less Crime, spoke in depth of his findings on the subject after what he says took years of research. According to the U.S. records and statistics that Lott presented, areas where more citizens are allowed to own guns, crime is lower than that of areas where guns are banned. Lott was invited to speak at Fresno State by the Young Americans for Liberty Club. Vice President of the club, Neil O'Brien, advocates private ownership of guns.
I would like for students that weren't able to attend this to actually empower themselves and learn about the Second Amendment right and go out to a gun range and, sign up for a CCW class.
While politics of gun control are controversial in the community, they are equally debatable among students here on campus. Students like Edgar Sepulveda are not entirely comfortable with guns in private hands.
Last Thanksgiving, a 90-year-old lady was shot here in Fresno by a teenager, and it's really scary, and I'm very on the fence about it, on whether or not people should own guns for reasons like that.
Other students like Justin Kerber say banning guns does not help the problem.
I had a neighbor who was born in London, and she said that people don't shoot each other now, they just stab each other. So how is that changing anything? I guess it's just changing the means.
In different places, in different countries, I think owning a gun is a perfectly, thing to do for protections, for safety, even as a sport. I think I would be okay with that.
Many will have to continue to agree to disagree on this loaded topic. Tara Thomas, Fresno State Focus.
Spring is here, and what better way to celebrate the spring teenie? Allie Norton finds out how the Alumni Association promoted a responsible environment while raising money for the Bulldog Pride Scholarship Fund.
All right, grab your martinis, get your food, and cruise up.
Live bands, good food, and fashion, oh my. This year's Spring Teenie raised roughly $1,350 for the Bulldog Pride Scholarship Fund. Put on by His Magazine and ESPN 1430, the 21 and over event drew a large crowd to listen to music and test out local restaurants' food and alcoholic drinks. But how does an event as large as Spring Teeny make sure attendees are drinking responsibly?
Well, we promote responsible drinking as well, though. So no drinking and driving, no underage drinking, no drinking more than you need to.
Peter Robertson, founder of the scholarship, said there hasn't been an incident in the 10 years it's been put on. Events like Spring Teeny are heavily guarded by security personnel to ensure everybody is drinking responsibly. The next event Robertson has planned to raise money for the scholarship is a Cinco de Mayo celebration at Swig's on May 5th.
And they're releasing a special chili pepper beer, and we're doing another fundraiser for Bulldog Pride Fund. So hopefully between these two we can raise some more money for students here at Fresno State.
Robertson said these events are a fun way to raise money for the scholarship, as long as everyone is enjoying responsibly. Allie Norton, Fresno State Focus.
Still to come on Fresno State Focus, see how journalism students are preparing for their future. But first, let's go with Anthony with sports.
Thanks, Julia. Coming up in sports, we'll tell you the secret behind student athletes' success, that and more when we return. Health, beauty, glamour, serenity, our bond, pure, safe, beneficial.
A place where cultures intertwine. A blend of unique and authentic food. A perfect balance of both nature and modernization. This is Malaysia, truly Asia.
Fresno State is known for having great athletes compete at the top of their level, but before they perform, the athletic training staff helps get them to where they need to be.
Looking for a big play in the running game, it's Ronye Miller.
Many people see the success of Fresno State athletes as they perform, but what they don't know is there are people who contribute to their success from the weight room. The Fresno State athletic training staff are one of the hidden reasons athletes perform as well as they do, pushing athletes to their limit with vigorous workouts. The training staff are working out athletes from sun up to sundown, focusing on bringing out the best in each individual.
Usually I come in about 5:45, 6 o'clock depending on the day, and I start working with my teams. And then I'll be out probably between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, I'll go home.
The workouts athletes are put through from the training staff are critical to the success for every sport.
You know, a lot of what we do in here correlates to the field, okay? All the exercises we do are made to make these guys better.
In here in the weight room, it teaches you how to control your body, teaches you how to use your body as one, and to get the most out of each movement you do on the field.
This year is the with 16.
There are many different aspects that carry over from the weight room to the game field that the training staff looks to bring out. Joining us today, we have David Gorey, a Fresno State athletic trainer and former Fresno State football player. Thanks for joining us, David.
Thanks for having me.
What inspired you to play football?
Well, growing up, I played a lot of basketball, and I always enjoyed watching Tony Gonzalez play. He's one of my favorite NFL players. He was a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and growing up, he was a basketball player too, and then converted. So I kind of had that same path.
And when did your career in playing football start?
My junior year in high school. Started real late, but came on strong.
And early in your career, you battled with some tough injuries. What was that like, overcoming adversity and getting back on the field and playing?
I think the toughest thing was staying strong-minded and really taking it one day at a time, because especially with the injury that I had, an ACL tear, it's pretty devastating to most people. And it takes them a lot to come back from something like that, but just having support of teammates and family, not too bad to get through.
And how long did that take you to recover from the ACL injury?
About a year to feel just back to the way I was.
All right. And a lot of athletes think they're gonna just, come to college and make it straight to the pros. But, unfortunately, a lot of stuff happens as far as injuries and other problems. How important do you think it is for athletes, student athletes, to stay focused on their education in school?
Well, I think that's just, like you said, the typical mindset. It's kind of silly because they focus so much on sports that they really lose track of school, and that's what they're really getting recruited for. To get good grades, be a good part of the community, and excel in sports. So they kind of lose track of it.
And can you give any advice for the up-and-coming young talent out there?
Really just to come in with a strong head on their shoulders, focus on school, maintain their diet, and just excel on the field.
All right. Well, that was David Gorey, former Fresno State football player and training staff. And now we're going to the break.
There's a place with majestical dolphins where you make new best friends, where you get a touch of sea life, and a few birds will say hello. It's the Fresno Chaffee Zoo.
Bacon, food of the gods. Everyone loves bacon. Want that bacon smell with you all day long? Done. New bacon air fresheners can make your dreams come true. Hang it anywhere you want to smell bacon. Your car, your room, your office, even your bathroom. We won't tell. Live like a king with new bacon air fresheners.
Many fashion trends walked the runway this weekend in the 3rd annual spring fashion show put on Fresno State's Fashion Inc. Club. Morgan Dixon has more.
Students with an interest in fashion got a special treat last weekend when the Fashion Inc. Club held its annual fashion show on campus. This is the 3rd year that Fashion Inc. held the event, which featured a number of Fresno State designers. For designer and Fresno State student Brandon Yang, being able to see his collection was an amazing experience.
Fantabulous. I have been on the runway for other events too, but for this one, since now it's designer status too instead of modeling.
There was an abundance of models at the show, all ready to take their turns on the catwalk. Models DeAndre Jean-Pierre and Tyler Archie had 2 different experiences when they went down the runway.
When I'm on stage, the world is mine. There's no one there but me. So when I'm out there, I'm doing my thing. Everyone's looking at me. That's my opportunity to be like, hey, you need me.
I won't lie, I stepped on stage and I blanked out.
This year's theme for the show was Hollywood Vintage, and designers spared no expense when it came to showing glamour on the runway. Fashion Inc. President Alex Pena said that members of Fashion Inc. took weeks to plan the event, making sure everything was perfect.
Last 4 months of the semester, it's been go, 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 especially the last maybe 2 weeks. It's been crazy, but I'm so glad.
With this year's show a success, the club is hoping to make the fashion show a permanent fixture on campus.
This is our 2nd annual fashion show. This is pretty much our 3rd year on campus, so we're going to continue it. Hopefully next year it'll be even bigger and better, more guests, more designers, more models, bigger everything.
Morgan Dixon, Fresno State Focus.
Living on campus will cost you a pretty penny, but many people wonder if the convenience of living in the dorms is worth it. Matt Penner has more.
Living on campus in the dorms definitely has its perks. For one thing, you are in walking distance from anywhere on campus. This means when you forget your homework, you're only a short stroll away from avoiding that F. However, life in the dorms isn't perfect by any means. For Kadisha Brown and Sachima Demude, the food is the downfall.
The dreadful dining hall. The RDH, better known, the resident dining hall.
Dining hall.
They serve you the same thing every day for 9 months.
Brown added that safety is an issue. Her apartment was robbed by someone who broke through the window. Fresno State's dorms offer students two kinds of living: community living, where the bathrooms and amenities are shared, and resident suite living, which is like an apartment. Living here on campus will cost you anywhere from $7,500 to $11,000 per academic year. Hannah Richardson doesn't have to worry about rent, though. She received a scholarship that covers housing. Convenience is key for Richardson, and she said that living here has enriched her personal life.
I'm not a super social person, but I think it has helped me to meet a few new people.
Alyssa Alamia lives in Baker, one of the 3 community-style living houses. She said a problem with her house is that it's difficult to find peace and quiet when trying to sleep and do homework. The good must outweigh the bad, though, because Alamia recommends it to all incoming students.
You can kind of just wake up whenever you're late to a class and just hurry up and go. You don't have to drive and find parking and all that stuff. So it's more convenient.
Living here on Fresno State campus has its advantages and disadvantages. Dorm life is easy, it's convenient, and best of all, you get to wake up 5 minutes before class. Matt Pinner, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State students sometimes don't take advantage of the services the school offers. The Women's Resource Center is just one of those services. Fresno State offers many services to students, but some students are not aware of the many services available on campus. The Women's Resource Center is just one of the many. The center offers students with a lot of different events and activities. The Violence Prevention Project is one of the services they provide. The Violence Prevention Project helps victims of rape and domestic violence. Graduate Assistant Bernice Vega says that students should take advantage of the services they provide.
We have tutors that come in here. We have peer-led discussion groups that happen through here. We rally and we spread awareness.
Volunteer Adilene Delgadillo says students can pretty much use the center for anything.
For homework, if they need to do research, if they need to meditate, we have a quiet room. They can come in there. They need to rest. Whatever the situation is, the center is pretty much open to anybody and whom anybody that wants to come and use it.
The Women's Resource Center is located inside the Thomas Building. Joining me today is Adrian Ramirez with Title V. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for being here.
So what is the name of the program? Because I know I said Title V, but I know your program doesn't go by that name. So what is the name of the program?
Yeah, well, the program's name, Commitment to Latino Academic Success and Excellence. Title V is a grant that was received by Fresno State in 2010, October 2010, to support student success on campus.
How did the program get started?
Well, the program got started because Fresno State is a Hispanic serving institution, meaning that there's 25% or more student enrollment that are of Hispanic ethnic group. And so the reason why we received it is because we serve such a large population of Hispanic students.
What kind of services does the program offer to students? Is this just for like you said, mentioned Hispanic, is it just for Hispanics or is it for everyone on campus?
Well, actually on campus, we work with faculty and staff to promote learning all throughout the campus in the classroom as well as through student affairs programming. And so we do work with a variety of programs such as the Learning Center, Support Net, and Office of Advising to provide a variety of services to students. But yeah, primarily the Latino students come into our office and receive counseling services directly with our counselors.
What was the purpose of the program? Just basically to help Hispanic students?
Yeah, the purpose of the program was to improve the graduation and retention rates of our Hispanic population on campus. But in addition, we offer a lot of other things such as improving student writing using a product with faculty to help support writing through, it's called Pearson My Writing Labs. And so that's something that's for every student. And also we're offering a financial education program in the fall with the wellness program on campus too, to provide students an opportunity to gain more information about financial literacy.
All right, well, thank you so much. That was Adrian Ramirez with Title V. That's our wrap the show for today. We would like to thank you for tuning into Fresno State Focus.
On behalf of everyone here at Fresno State Focus, we'd like to thank you for a great semester.
We would also like to congratulate the class of 2012 and wish everyone a safe and relaxing summer. Take care, everyone.